Hello comrades, it's me, a Yorkshireman now living in Wales, and I hope everybody's okay. So comrades, today I'm going to talk about Gwynedd Council, and this is a follow-up to the other stuff I've done about their climate change, nature plan, whatever you want to call it. I'm sort of very dismissive of it all now, and I'll tell you why I'm quite dismissive, because as I was going through, sort of doing me prepping to this video, this popped into me news, and it's by the co-founder of Greenpeace, who left after its hijacking by the political left. Now it's a video, so I'll give you the link for the video, but interestingly enough, it basically goes on to say that as I looked at the article, it says there is no evidence whatsoever that CO2 is the control knob of the Earth's climate. In other words, sort of what he's saying is we need CO2 to live, and at the moment CO2 levels are that low that plants are in danger of dying because they're not getting enough CO2. So it's a bit like contradictory to everybody else on the other side of it who are saying that CO2 is going to kill us all. Well, I'm going to trust this bloke, as I say. I've had a look at the video and it makes more sense to me. Also, some of the interesting things I'll share with you is he then goes on to say that when it got hijacked by the political left, they then started using the old scare tactics, and one of them was what he called invisible things. And one of the visible things he refers to is CO2. He says because A, it's very difficult to see, in other words you can't see it or measure or do anything with. Now this then reminded me of what Gwynedd Council said in my previous video, or should I say what I pointed out, is they were talking about procurement and measuring the carbon. They says, oh, we can't really do it, it's very, very difficult. Well, that tells me already it's a little bit of a scam. If you can't measure it, you can't see it, you can't do something with it. And he says this is one of their scare tactics. The other thing he says, they also refer to things which are very remote. The example he gave, they always talk about polar bears. And he says, oh, the population's in decline. This bloke here, Dr. Bloke, he turns around and says, no, population of polar bears is doing all right, thank you. I'm going to suggest you take your time, get yourself a cup of tea, watch little bits of the video, and you will get a bit of an history lesson and you'll get educated at the same time. So of course this like makes me look at all some of this stuff with a little bit of more distaste, to be honest. So before I get into some of the other stuff, I then came across this document. It's dated 2025, signed off by Council Leader Nye Jeffries and the Chief Exec. And I think this for me gives you a great insight of how they think our money is actually their money. And I go down to the second paragraph, even though it refers to something which happened in 2022, they refer to spending 2.8 million of its general funds. Now, that's not general funds, that's taxpayers' money. But the way I look at this, they think it's their money. And they also go on to say that they also think that buying solar panels is an investment scheme. It's not an investment scheme. I've got solar panels here, right? When I bought it, when I moved in, they were here already. I'll tell you how it works. I have an app and that says you've got 3.5 kilowatts of power coming in from your solar panels, Philip. So all I do is I think, right, I'll have a shower, I'll do the washing, I'll do something else, yeah? But when the sun goes in, all that disappears. That's not an investment. This is me making the use of something somebody else has already had. Now they're thinking this is an investment using our money. It's not. The second paragraph going down there, they admit the cost of doing this climate stuff is exceptionally high, so they need more government money. Now that government money comes from us. So my take on it all is they are literally creating inflation for everybody. They're not even looking after future generations, because future generations literally can't afford to live now. So, and I've talked to them. So now let me get back on topic now I've had a bit of a rant. So I asked them how much has been spent on climate training for the years 21 to 25. Guess what they've spent of our money? £14,672. Huh, right, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. Is it going to make any difference? Not at all. People, as I've said before, just sit there and go, right, have I done that? Great. So I also said, what's this climate change professional trainee about? So they sent me a link, and it's like some sort of undergraduate programme. Right, fine, no problems with that. But it is interesting, minimum requirements is a degree or higher. Right then. Now, I then thought to myself, so how many people in Wales have a degree? According to the figures, couple of years ago 86,000 and a few people. So this job is only available for 86,000 people. Right, now also they can only apply for the job if they are both fluent in Welsh and English. Now, is that fair? You tell me in the comments. I don't think it's fair. Now, they're also going to get paid £30,000 of our money. Now, also says that their degree could be in any subject. So I could have a degree in, say, tree climbing, which is actually a real degree, and apply for this and get this. So I turn up, and on day one, guess what? I say, oh, I don't know anything about it, but I can climb that tree if you want, and I can tell you all about tree climbing. And they're going to say, no, I'll go through an induction process, I'll meet lots of people, and what they'll say, and I know this will happen, is you decide and you find what training courses you want to go on. Right, so I then took this mindset and I moved it a bit further, because this is what I would be doing. I'd look at this and I came across this straight away, University of Cambridge. Oh, that's nice, I think to myself. And this one is about circular economy model. Now, I didn't know, but I now know this is part of the climate change agenda. Right then, so I'd sign myself up for that. I'd say I need to go on there. How much is it? It's only £5.5 grand. No problem, taxpayers paying it, thank you. I'd book that, but that's only 3 days. I'd then say I need to get more information about carbon. Right, I'd then look at this suite of courses here about carbon action. Now we know they love talking about carbon. This one, of course, including VAT is only £6,200 odd. Get on that one. Yes, off you go, that's fine. So I'd get on that as well. So I've already cost the taxpayer 30 grand plus anything else going on. Now it's up to about 40 grand with training courses. I won't finish there though. What I then do is develop networking so I can go to conferences, which I might go abroad, because we know we like to go abroad when you're working for the public sector and it's all on taxpayers' money, and do what? Well, network and chat to people to gain me expertise, knowledge, so I don't become a trainee. I'm now a professional. Is there a qualification in that? Well, I had a search and I couldn't find anything. So I'm thinking it's more made up. So, what have I learned? I've sort of learnt already on this one. I'm a little bit sort of disappointed in what's going on. And I'm not happy with Gwynedd Council, who are Plaid Cymru, because literally they're not asking any of us. So I did ask them one question. I asked the question, let me just think, I said, when did the taxpayers agree to this? And what they're telling me is that the plan was adopted on 8th of March 2022. All decisions were taken by elected members at public meetings. Now, I never remember seeing those public meetings being advertised, and I've had a bit of a search and I can't find any minutes of those public meetings. So I'm not really sure if they actually happened. Now, if they did happen, hands up, I'm really sorry. Send us a link and send us the documentation. I'll just leave something in the comments. Now, building on this, of course, I asked them another question, which is like a double check question. This was about governance. And as you can see here, I then rephrased the question, why have you not asked the taxpayers about climate change for their thoughts? Right, now, that's a bit like climate emergency. And on this time, they've actually turned around and said, we are currently in the process of reviewing our climate and nature emergency plan and will be, get this, launching a public consultation soon. Now we're on, but they're also telling me is that the decision's already been made at public meetings. Right, so which one's correct? Right, comrades, please tick, like and subscribe, leave a comment, because the algorithm says I need to get more of that action to get my YouTube channel going. Anyway, either that as a side, hope you enjoyed it and learned something today. Every day is a school day. Catch you on the other side. Thank you.